Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming in on this Q&A. My name is David Robinson. I'm the father of geologist uh, Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd, 2021, from his job site in Buckeye, Arizona. I have been here since June the 26th, searching for my son. I started my searches a few week or so after he went missing. And my son has been last seen at that well site on June 23rd with one other person. This whole narrative and everything about my son's case is based on the testimony of this one person that my son drove off from that well site to never be seen again. As you know, some of you guys that are coming in, I'm trying to give you time to come in. Um, my son's vehicle showed up at this ravine right here behind me. This banner behind me is a picture of the ravine and the way that my son's vehicle was found. Um, that was almost 30 days later on July the 19th. It was found by a rancher who was out there searching for his cattle. We're tracking his cattle to get them down into a corral. The same rancher testified that the vehicle wasn't there 2 to 3 days prior because he was in that same area again tracking his cattle, and the vehicle wasn't there at that time. And the second time he came through there, lo and behold, the vehicle's there in this 20-foot ravine. The situation is, if you can look behind me, my son's clothing was on the ground. Everything he was wearing on his body. The vehicle is turned on the side. The driver's window glass was broken out and was on the ground. And also, there was no damage to the roof, which would say that the vehicle didn't do a full rollover. But the sunroof was kicked out or pulled out from the vehicle. It was lying underneath the front end of the vehicle. I got to remind you that this vehicle here does not have a glass in that sunroof. That vehicle don't have glass like typical cars that we know. So there was no glass on the ground from the sunroof. There was just a panel that sits at the top. And like I say, everything he's wearing is on the ground. So that prompted me as a father to also further my investigation that I started when I went to question the man that last saw my son at that well site. Um, my investigation began at that point where I got significant information. Excuse me, I had to clean my glass. It looked like really foggy. I got a lot of information um, from him concerning things like he was there the whole entire week after my son went missing, and according to Buckeye, almost 3 days later, they said they did a search for my son out there in that desert. This guy at the well site has a different story in terms of that. He was there that day they supposedly did that flyover with the helicopter. He didn't hear a helicopter or see any officers out there, and he was at the well site. So those things are questionable. But fast forward here, again, for the people who still coming in, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing in Buckeye, Arizona on June the 23rd. I made a Q&A for you all, everybody who have interest in this case. You guys have shown so much love and so much dedication, whether you donated, pray, sign a petition, come out to the searches, everything. So everything you have done so far is crucial to me being here. I'm still here. Like I said, I've been here since June 26th in search of my son, not only just searching, but bringing out awareness, fighting for his honor, putting pressure on that police department to, like I said, just doing everything I can to make sure my son's found. So I thank you all. I couldn't do it without you again. I will go into the chat now to thank you all for coming on. Of course, I will tell everybody thank you for being here. AKD, thank you so much for being on. Good morning to you. I thank you so much, Amber Buck. Thank you for hitting in from Maine. Thank you so much for being here. You knew. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in the background that many don't know. But thank you, everything you do. Gina, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I know how busy you get and how you have to do things. So I'm glad to see you here. Thank you so much for taking time out to be here. Lois, thank you for being here from North Carolina, from Charlotte, not too far from me. Charlotte is only 40-minute drive from me from Columbia, South Carolina. So good to see you here, Lois. Thank you so much. Also, Leslie Beeks, thank you so much for being to all the Q&A so far, and I really appreciate your support and also the questions that you usually have for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Also, thank you. See who I got here, DJ Moore. Thank you so much for coming on and being supportive. Ever since I started this Q&A, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you, T. Sophia, for all your work in the background and everything you have done from this point. If I repeat your name, thank you again. So thank you again, Amber Buck. Thank you, T. Sophia, for all the work, like I said, you do in the background to help my cause. So I'm really grateful for everything you've done and everybody else. So again, my name is David Robinson. For those who's still coming in to the chat, and to the Q&A. I'm here to answer questions, to also bring awareness and to give you upcoming events. I do have one upcoming event. That's you guys, if you please, check out the candlelight visual that we're coming up on March the 12th this year. We have a candlelight visual here in Phoenix. It'll be at 6:30. For more information, please go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. You'll get the information there. Click the events tab, and I ask you all to RSVP because I need you to sign in. That way, I know how many candles I need to provide, and also the number of people that will be there. So that'll help out a whole lot. So if you're bringing other people, I'm fixing a little area you may see on that tab that says it make it appear to be a 3 limit person. That was a little error that was put there when I had the website created and we have that page created. So I would correct that soon, and that way you guys don't have a limit. You can bring whoever you want to bring, how many people you want to bring. Just remind you that this is a family event. It's a kind of like visual. It bring awareness to my son's case and also the disparities that happen among people of color, and also, to bring awareness just in general to the cause of missing people in the way that these things should be handled. So we just want to highlight this case here and ask you to join. The numbers would make a big difference. If you guys can bring somebody, encourage people to come, that would make a big difference, and that would help out tremendously. So please, by all means, please, so if you can, bring as much people as you can. So thank you again. All right, thank you, Tanya, for coming out. I really appreciate you. Good morning to you. Good morning. That's the tip line there. Thank you, New. Thank you, Lisa, for coming out. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate your comments. Thank you. But we still working on that, the FBI and things like that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you for your question. I will be taking questions very soon. And Lisa, I'll try to make sure your question will come back up again about the FBI. I can say this now, so I won't forget. You asked me good morning. I still put that up. Good morning. I still don't understand why the FBI isn't involved. Can you elaborate on that a little? Thank you, and continue prayer. Thank you for your prayers. First of all, Lisa, like I said, thank you for being here. Yeah, I can tell you, I have requested the FBI. Of course, many may know that, I've been trying very hard. I'm out here as a father doing the job of law enforcement. Out here searching my son, out here doing an investigation of my own. I have a private investigator, but like I tell people also, I'm doing my own investigation as a father, and also with the FBI. As their involvement, yes, I have put in a request. My attorney put in a request for help me put in a request for the FBI involvement. I wrote a letter to Chief Hall I CC'd the city managers and some of the other officials in that letter, stating why the FBI need to be involved. First of all, the lack of action from the local police department. Some things that need to be done, like forensics work on this vehicle, all the forensics work on the clothing that's on the ground. All that stuff need to be done. This department wasn't able to get that done, unable to or unwilling. I'm not sure. However, I wrote in that letter a really, really great letter to explain why I feel the FBI should be involved, which is this vehicle is very close. Rather, it may be on federal land. I'm not a surveyor, but I tell you, if you take a few steps to the west, you would be on federal land. So this vehicle is near federal land. It's very close, maybe very well on it. So that means that my son went missing, or the vehicle itself was found on their land. So they should be involved. Also, the fact that when I wrote the letter, I pointed out that my son went missing on a crime scene. As you may know, may not know, since I started my searches before the vehicle showed up, we were finding human remains out there. We even found a human skull, and since then we found other human remains since the vehicle was found. So there's a lot of things that happened out there in that desert. My son went missing out there in that desert, in that same area. That was part of the letter that I wrote to describe that it's a crime scene. These guys not taking it as a crime scene. I need extra help. So I asked for that. Chief Hall agreed to bring in the FBI to do a case review. And of course, my attorney sent a quick letter back in response to request that I be part of that case review. She be a part. If not, I could just be a part alone. They did not answer back on that letter. We gave them a few days to see if they were going to respond. But in those few days, they decided to have a secret, or I call it a secret, meeting with the FBI. And whatever happened in that meeting, I got a call back a week later from Detective Biffin, who told me that the FBI was not coming in because the FBI felt that I was doing such a great job as a father that I didn't need them. So that's far from the truth of what I need. I need the FBI in there. I'm just a civilian. I'm a father. I don't have all the equipment that the FBI and all the technology and everything else that comes with having the FBI in this case. So that's ridiculous to me to feel that I'm doing such a great job. I guess you guys, you can take some credit, because without you all, I would not be here. And I thank you all for everything you do. Now, thank you so much for that question. I really appreciate that. Again, my name is David Robinson. For those who coming in, I'm the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd last year. He was at his work site with one other guy who told law enforcement that my son pretty much waved off to him after a 10-minute conversation when they got there, and got in his vehicle and drove off further into the remote area of the desert, and have never been seen again. I got here in June 26th to search for my son, and since then started a search of my own. Been searching the area of the well site until this vehicle showed up almost 30 days later, after my son went missing on July the 19th. It was found by a rancher who was out there, searching for his cattle to get them into a corral. 2 days prior, he said that the vehicle wasn't there in that spot here, but it's 2 or 3 days before. But after that, he went back through it again, and lo and behold, the vehicle's here. That's when he found it. As you can see behind me, clothing, everything my son was wearing, from his shirt, shoes, everything on his body, underwear, socks, everything on the ground in the pile. His safety vest was on another foot away from that pile, and his boots, one was on one side of the vehicle, the other was tucked under the side that you see lying on the ground. And since that vehicle showed up, of course, my searches expanded, not just to cover that well site, but also to cover this area where the vehicle was found. I did a radius based on science, where a person could travel without water, clothes, and things like that. Even if they had clothes, we had factored that into it also. The fact that we feel that he didn't have water, because there were 2 cases of water in the vehicle untouched. And so those are so things that my searches have been based on. But like I said, since then, hearing the theories of that department, of what possibly happened to my son, I decided to get my own private investigator, which I did, who found all kind of physical and um, um, technical evidence, if I could say, on that vehicle, and we turned that over to the Buckeye Police Department, where they shut down and doubled down on their theory that my son escaped injury from that crash, for that damage on his vehicle, that he was actually in there, and that he kicked the sunroof out somehow. I mean, kicked the sunroof out and got out that vehicle. I guess he had superhuman strength. He kicked the sunroof out and got out the vehicle and stripped his clothes off because he possibly had a severe head injury, is what they say, and he walked off and hid under a tree somewhere, and later told me that he most likely wanted to be away from his family, probably, and join a monastery to become a monk. So those are the theories I had to hear, and that prompted me, of course, to get my private investigator, which led me to where I am today. And where I am today is to continue my search for my son, to continue to ask you guys for support, and to continue investigating. Saying what happened to my son. I'm getting very close to these answers, and as you know, I tell you every morning, my aim is to get forensics done on his vehicle, on the clothing, on his personal computer, his phone, all that stuff. Forensics meaning that fingerprinting to getting forensic work, as in finding data that's been erased off my son's phone. As you know, when I got his phone back from this officer, it's missing a memory card, and it's missing. It was actually wiped from Google histories and everything else. Is everything that possibly can track my son was wiped, but I was able to get some of those things back on my own. So I'm working on that, and I have some answers to a lot of things now. Just need this forensics work done to tie those things in together. So I ask you guys to please support me on that effort. I really appreciate you keeping me here this long, as in your support really helps. Thank you, Tanya, for being here from Franklin County. Oh, okay, I believe I spoke to you before. Thank you so much again, Franklin County. And also, thank you, Ruthie, for being here. God bless you too. Shrink and Sharon, thank you so much for being here. Again, I really appreciate you for being here and support. Larnell, thank you, sir, for being here. I know you're a true trooper. You're always there. You got my back. I really appreciate that. All the work that you do in the background also. Again, you new and T. Sophia, thank you for all your hard work that you do in the background and your support. Thank you for reminding me, you knew, for that. Please hit that like button, to share, and subscribe. That helps me with the algorithm. Like I said, I can still continue to learn more about this whole YouTube experience, and sometimes I forget to even say that. So if you guys can do that for me, that'll help a whole lot, because that, like I say, it brings out awareness. When YouTube see that the algorithm get going, I get more exposure. And also, if you guys can, like I said, subscribe. The more people I get it to 1,000 subscribers. There's other perks that come along with that will help me get out a little farther. So that's what I'm learning. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. All right. Thanks to T. Sophia for saying that. The sense of urgency when a person goes missing in this country has to change. Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for fighting on behalf of Daniel and all the missing persons. That's right. God bless you. Thank you, T. Sophia. And you're right. One of the biggest things that I got out of this whole thing with my son is the urgency, just like T. Sophia was saying. That first 24 to 48 hours when the person go missing is very crucial for law enforcement to take a case seriously. I mind you, my fight is for to change the way they approach missing person cases. There should be a system where they rule out foul play and work their way down. You never work your way up, work your way to say, hey, we don't want to see this person come back and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Don't do nothing, put our hands on our lap, on our chair, whatever they do, and then go look for a person after a certain time where evidence and everything else about that person starts shrinking away, disappearing. So It should be worked the other direction, where a family knows when something's wrong with their loved one. They know the ones that just go out and disappear on their own and come back and things like that. We know the difference. If a person in the family say, "Hey, this is unusual. This is out of character for my person. I know they wouldn't do such," then law enforcement should take that serious. It should be just the word of the family, not the word of coworkers. It should be something that says, "Hey, this is serious. We need to go rule out foul play. We need to go rule out that it's something this person had just walked off on their own. I don't care how old they are. We need to start changing those laws also about age. You know, grown people go missing just as much as people don't. It's okay for them to just assume that something bad happened, because if they run into that grown person and that person, they find them and that person say, "Hey, I just want to be away from this family to become a monk and join a monastery," then they can come back to the family and say, "Hey, look, we talked to him. He's okay, but he just don't want to be bothered, and we can't tell you where he's at." That type deal. What's wrong with that? But that give a family peace of mind and things like that. So yeah, a lot of things need to change in this country. So thank you, T. Sophia, for bringing that up. Also, thank you all for being here. Thank you for Grizzly Gizzle from Grizzly True Crime for showing here. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the hard work and everything you do in the background. I mean, there's so much I can go on for all morning of all the things that you have done so far, and I really appreciate that. So you know how I feel, and I thank you for all of that. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Mel Fink, for coming in. Thank you, Shrink and Sharon again. Thank you, everybody, for who's been here at this moment. Thank you, Gwen, for being here. I really appreciate that. I love you, and thank you so much for reminding everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. Grizzly True Crimes, thank you again. Thank you, Pamela Dabbs. Thank you for being here. You're not late. You're here. You're here. Thank you so much for being here. Because you're never late. You're already here. So thank you so much for showing up. Ruthie Player, thank you so much for being here. And also, I want to tell, the Lost Ones, thank you for being here. Good morning to you. Lisa Coffee, thank you so much. Again, my name is David Robinson. I'm the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June 23rd. I'm here doing a Q&A for everybody who have questions, and I'm about to get to it now. Thank you, Pamela Desk. Some of the questions that I have, if you have a question, please, by all means, put the word question first. And then after you put the word question there, then come with your question. That way, when I go down the comment section, I can actually see your question, and I won't miss it for a comment. So thank you so much for doing that for me. That really would help in that. Also, like I say, I have some things I could tell you about that's coming up, events. You guys should know that I'm having a candlelit visual for my son. That'll be on March the 12th, 2022. But I ask you, like I say on here on the banner, please RSVP, because that helped me find out how many people will be showing, and to have those candles for you. Have those candles for you, have those ribbons for you, things like that, because we all come together in solidarity for my son's case, and to bring awareness to missing person cases also. So we have people there that will be speaking. We have singer, I would be a speaker, and I hope you guys can show up, because numbers matter. You guys show up in numbers. That's send a statement. I need you all to do everything you can to come out and support. We're in this thing together. You guys been here this long and supporting, and I really appreciate that. Your family, we all are family. This is a family affair. I like to tend to say the same thing that one other person told me. Daniel is not just my son; he's America's son. He represents so many other people who's out there, families who out there don't have a voice, who's out there missing to this date. I've been, unfortunately, it's been 8 months for me and my family. However, there's other people out there who has been going for years without their loved one and still don't have an answer. So it's very hurtful to families and very hard. So you don't know what happened. You don't know what it feels like until it happened to you and your family. So thank you guys for being here. Now I'm going down the timeline. If you got these questions, thank you so much for putting the word question there first, and then ask your question. I can actually go down the timeline and find your question. So thank you so much for doing that. Again, I'm Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd. I'm doing this Q&A for everyone who have interest in this case, who may have questions and need those questions answered. So that's my purpose for today, and also to give you information on what I'm doing this Friday, this Saturday. I will have the searches again as normal. Everything will be done on Sun Valley Parkway. We need everybody who want to do foot searches, who want to do line searches with us. Line searches are very important at this point. First of all, it helped me cut down some costs on the searches because I was lowering some of the equipment that I use out there in the desert. We need them. I need them bad, but we find ways to suffer or do without them. So that's very hard. And to be honest with you, it's very hard and difficult. One of the reasons why I get some of the equipment that I need is because it's a safety. Also, we're not cutting safety for the volunteers, but the safety for the volunteers is one reason why when I go to Sun Valley Parkway, for instance, I need a razor. I need a razor to be out there. Excuse me, I'll turn these ringers down. A razor out there to be a standby. We out there in the desert, it gets hot. This time of year is getting back warm again. We get up in the 80s. Out there in the desert, maybe a little hotter. And, the desert, it can be sneaky. It can be tricky. You think you're okay, and then next thing you know, you're dehydrated. So as people bring water, just in case, the razor is there to help, help me if someone's to get tired or they need to go back to the command center, things like that. I can shuttle them back. So it's a lot of different reasons why. Also get us in areas from search efforts to find different areas to cover. So, all right, I have a question here from DP. What are Buckeye Police Department and Mayor doing now? I did hear from Detective Biffin yesterday. I went and contacted him to ask him for an update. He gave me a tip that came out last year. I think it was in October, November time frame. He said he sent it to me before. I can't remember getting that, but it's a tip there. Saying, as usual, somebody saying they thought they saw Daniel. He checked it out. He didn't see this person matching Daniel's description. Right now I'm doing that myself. Since I got it yesterday, I'm actually going through it, the footage myself, and see if I recognize this person as being my son. So I'm going through that. So we are doing those tips right now. I'm following up tip. He said he already went through that tip. Somebody came to him and gave him that tip. So that's the only thing I heard from Buckeye so far this year. Other than the time when they came out to my search when I requested them. So barely hear from that department. Don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the mayor is doing. I do want to reach out to the mayor at some point. I'm sure if you're a mayor, you know exactly what's happening in your city. If you're, everybody in that Buckeye area knows what's happening in their city. They know that I've been performing searches for over 26 weeks, probably 27 weeks now. I lost the numbers, but they know who's out there every week, weekend doing these searches and weekdays. So they have yet to reach out to me, that mayor or whoever out there in that area, who's the high officials out there, have yet to reach out to me in any form or fashion. So, but anyway, that's not going to stop me from reaching out to them eventually at some point. So thank you for that question, DP. Again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm doing a Q&A. If you have any questions, please put the word question or the letter Q, like some people are doing now, and that helps out a lot because when I'm going down the timeline, it's easier for me to see your questions. So I'll try to make sure I don't miss anybody. So I have a next question here from Sunset Dragon. I know it's horrible thought, but has anyone checked John Doe's at the local hospital? Yes, we have done that, but we need to continue to do that. It's an ongoing thing. Checking John Doe's, they always getting them and things like that. So also one of the thoughts I know is what happened in the past. One of the celebrities, I'm not gonna say his name, had a father went missing, and the apartment was quickly to put him in a potter's grave, and so this celebrity had to go claim his father at a potter's grave. So potter's grave is a place where they put John Doe's when they hold them for a while, and some states do it faster than others, and they bury them. Go ahead and give them a burial in these potter graves. So that was a sad occasion for this celebrity, and those are the reasons why, as a father, so I had to check those areas, or any family member should check those, like you're saying, Sunset Dragon. Thanks for that question. Also, I have another question from, let's see, all right, yes. For the total woman experience, Proverbs 31. I would love that every time I hear that. Proverbs 31. Thanks so much for your question. How far from the road was the vehicle found? Now, well, that's two ways to answer that. From the well site, you go down these dirt roads, dirt trail roads. It's only a little over 3 miles. And if you go from Sun Valley Parkway, if you can find your way through that desert, straight at a straight shot west, I can imagine it's up to 10 miles. So I'm not sure. Haven't had that type of measurement, but I'm just guessing from doing searches there, doing line searches, things like that. It would appear to be almost close to 10 miles at least from Sun Valley Parkway Road. So it's pretty far out there, and you wouldn't want to go through that direction. I do know if you go through the gate that we normally go through to get there, it'll probably be it's a lot closer. It's roughly I want to say about 5 miles, if that 4 or 5 miles, 4.5, 5 miles. So that's the distance from that Sun Valley Parkway. But like I said, the well site is only a little over 3 miles. So that still is in the near area where my son went missing. So again, there's been so-called extensive searches in that area where they did not find the vehicle the vehicle was there for almost 30 days until it was found. So thank you so much for that. Also, I have the tip line down. Thank you, Yanu, for that. All right, thank you so much. Let's see if I have any more questions here. Thank you, Mo. What's okay? Let's see. It's Mochi Bear. Thank you so much for your question this morning. Do you have a detailed telematics report with times, GPS information, door openings, close, etc.? Well, I do have some information. I have a report. That report from a examination that was done on the vehicle. My former accident reconstructionist PI, he had left that with me, the whole report of everything that, from what they did on that vehicle when they pulled all the information. As in for the GPS, that vehicle have a Uconnect system, and to this date, that Uconnect system has not been accessed. Buckeye said that they talked to Uconnect and open up an account and try to get information from it, and they couldn't. It was all zeros or something. I don't take words from anybody, of course. Those are the things I'm doing myself, getting those information if I can from Uconnect. So I'm still working on that, and also the any other things about door openings and things like that. I'm not sure. This report is I think it's like 800, 900 page long, and I'm a novice at information like that, so I would have to have someone who's knowledgeable on reading reports like that to look at it. But I do have that in my possession, so thank you for your question on that. Also, I have another question here from Rachel. First of all, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for support. I need people like that to come into the Q&A. If you have questions, that's what's for. Thank you for showing up. What can individuals outside of Arizona help you do most? What would be most beneficial for you and your efforts? I'm glad you asked for that, because that's one thing I meant to put also for you guys, for everyone. Also, if you go on to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, there's new tabs. One, again, I say for the event. The event will be for March the 12th. The vigil, the candlelight vigil. At the same time, you can look up there and you will see how can you help other than volunteer in the search and things like that. Other ways of volunteering, other ways to help. You'll see that tab up there, and you click on that tab. And I want you guys, if you can, to fill the form out, because we are looking for people with certain skill sets. So when you have certain skill sets, we can tell you right there, find out what skill sets are, and we can also utilize those in everything I'm doing here in efforts of finding my son, and also in efforts of helping other families. Because, as you know, I've been doing this for, since June 26th. I'm losing track of time. All the days going together. However, just meeting people, meeting families, hearing their stories, just knowing that this thing is bigger than my son, myself, and my family. There's other families out there so that I'm fighting for. So I'm trying to start a foundation. It's going to take some time to get our foundation together. So that's why I need you guys, if you go in there, to give you skill sets and things like that, if you want to help, be a part, things like that. So that's very important. If you go do that, the tab is there. And if you go ahead and sign that up, Rachel, thank you so much for doing that for me, and anybody else. Thank you so much for your question. Also, again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June the 23rd, 2021. I've been here since June the 26th, looking for my son, fighting and advocating for him, putting pressure on the Buckeye Police Department, starting on searches, continue to do searches, putting out awareness, and working to help other families. So thank you so much for being here. I started this Q&A to give people opportunity to ask questions, because there's a lot of things out there, disinformation that's not true, whether it's about me, my family, or about the entire case itself. So if you want to get any information from the source, you can ask some of these questions. If I don't have the answer for you, I will tell you. If there's questions that will kind of go close to anything that's under investigation on my part, I'll be careful not to speak, but I will let you know. And but like I say, I answer to the best of my abilities to give you those answers. All right, I have a question again from DP. Thank you, DP, again for being here. Your support is very crucial, and I thank you. Definitely want to pressure the mayor again. He should be replacing some officers and detectives. I agree. Many don't know, Chief Hall been suspended before for that department falsifying documents. I can almost look at what's happening in my son's the police record as something that to me seems similar. I have, since my son's vehicle showed up here, I had a meeting with that department, very angry, of course, asking them why they were doing forensic work on that vehicle at the scene. Like I said, it was a recorded meeting. It was also, I was had a witness with me on that meeting, and why they wasn't done. So to go to your point, they decided to give me a partial report. I said I need a report to see what you guys have done and what you all are doing. Chief Hall gave me what he said was at the time a partial report. So they did give me that. Then they would give me a full report right after. They gave me everything my son, they turned everything from their vehicle to his clothing, all that stuff to me. So they told me literally they have no more leads to follow. So they didn't have an investigation. They stopped it. That was the end of the investigation for what happened to my son. That's all they had. They gave me everything of his, and the way I took it is closed case, right? It was a closed case for me though. I kept going. I got the report. I got a second report, and they told me this is a full report, meaning that this is the end report. There's nothing else to go along with it. This is it. So I still had the report. It's unredacted. Both of them are unredacted reports. And since then, I started putting pressure on the department by going through social media to the news media. It became kind of national in light of this Petito case. And when they got that pressure from you guys, and I really thank you. That's why I continue to tell you to keep doing that, calling that department, sending letters, whatever you got to do. With all that pressure on their back, I started seeing their report change. It started growing. I think they're up to 5 reports, in my opinion. I don't know. But I know that what they have now, what I latest found, is some sentences have been changed. To me, I take it as they're covering themselves. They listen to me what I say on social media, because I know if I say one thing one week, they'll come in that report and kind of cover that, say, oh, we did this, just covering themselves, whether it's factual or not. So I tell you guys, don't just take police report as all factual. You need to go in there and dissect it, like some of these YouTube um, people are doing. Dissecting that report, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll start seeing inconsistencies. You'll start seeing things that just don't match, things that just don't make sense. And I can tell you, if you was bouncing against what they had originally, then you understand what I'm talking about. So, thank you so much. Yeah, I think a lot of thought need to be put on that department. What's going on in this case? So I agree with you, DP. Thank you so much for that question. Now, again, I'm Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June 23rd, 2021. I'm out here in Arizona from South Carolina. I'm in search of my son. I've been out here since June the 26th. I'm not going to quit on my son, despite of all of the non-action that I feel like I'm getting from the police department. Sometimes you have to do things yourself, and that's what I'm out here doing. But I have the support of people like yourselves who keeps me going. So thank you so much. Thank you, Kim, for being here. Good morning to you too. Again, thank you. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. I really appreciate that. To help the algorithm keep going, and it helps me get my message farther out there. So thank you guys for showing up. I noticed that the numbers of people viewing is growing. So really thank you guys for taking time out in your day in the mornings. People in the East Coast later in the morning, the people here in the West, here in Arizona later, early in the morning, coming out to support me on this. So thank you so much for everything you're doing. Like I said, I couldn't do anything without you. Again, want to tell everybody while I'm waiting on the questions, we have a Q&A that's coming. I'm sorry, a kind of like visual that's coming up on the 12th of next month. And I ask you guys to please be a part of that. We need the numbers. I need the numbers to show, to make a statement. We're doing this solidarity to my son's case, and also to those who are missing. So it's very important, kind of like visual. And I thank you guys for joining in. I asked you to RSVP because that way I know how many people showing up, and also how many candles and things like that we need to provide. And also the way to do that is to go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com on the website. And on that website, you will find under the tab, excuse me, you'll find the tab events. Go on to events, you'll see all the information about the kind of like vigil, and you can also sign up for it. And I need you to sign up for it, please. And you can, and please skip the part that says, you have up to 3 people. That is a glitch, and that I have to get fixed today, so it's going to take some time. And but you can bring how many people you want. The more people, the better. So, like I said, if you can go up there and sign that RSVP, reserve your spots, and just be in there. So let me know that you're going to be here. That helps a whole lot. Saying thanks so much for doing that. Again, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, and I thank you guys for coming in with your questions. I started Q&A just for that, for you all to ask the question that you have. This is not just a case for myself, but you guys show interest from day one, and you've been here, and you have questions, and I like to answer them at the best of my ability. I have a question again from DP on the development that's supposed to start soon. Has it been scheduled? Has it been searched? Yes. We was told that by, I was told by El Dorado Holdings and some of those guys, Trillium, that they're putting a development there. They will start breaking ground in January. As you know, last year I was really pushing hard, trying to get you guys to come out to help search. We did a lot of line searching. We covered that area very well. We did line searches there before, but we had to go over really, really well to make sure there's no possibility that Daniel's out there in that little small area. It's really a large area, but that area where there will be developing. So we did go over that area extensively. I feel a little more comfortable. I'm not saying we did it perfectly. We couldn't miss anything, but I feel really confident that that area is really searched well. But we had a time frame. They gave us to January, so I was pushing it really hard. But as to date, I haven't seen them really breaking in ground. Only thing they have done so far is put in a new well, where they're working on a new well there. So that's the indication of a community coming in by them drilling that well into the ground. I don't know they're doing it because the other wells that's already there may not be producing what they should. I do know that those wells have to produce at least 100 years of water. So, and that's where my son's job come in. You know, that's what he does. He's a geologist, and he's working as a field geologist. Some call it a hydrogeologist, and he was out there to determine those factors. So, I don't know the outcome of the other wells. The well that he was last seen at, but that's some things I'm checking into, trying to get information for that. Thank you for your question. Again, thank you for your coming in, Peony. If I say your name incorrectly, please forgive me, Darnell. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. And I guess it's Penny. Like I say again, if I pronounce it wrong, please forgive me. Thank you for coming in on Facebook. Thank you for supporting. It's really crucial that I get that support, and I'm really glad that you decided to come on and ask your questions. The question is, how certain are you that the more fresh pink in color remains are not Daniel? Is Ellie being honest about those remains? And I had a question from that day that we found the remain, myself and my investigator at that time. Yes, it was scary for me. That day, I'm always worried about the other remains I found, that the volunteers found out there, that I've seen, because you never know. That's what I was out there for, looking for my son. Of course, after something left of time, it stopped being a rescue mission to a recovery mission when I'm out there in the desert. So when I find remains out there found, yeah, I'm worried. The fresh one that you were speaking of, the latest remains, yes, they're still pinkish in color, still had the marrow there, things like that. I don't want to get so graphic, but that put a lot of fear on me at that day. I was on the ground out there scrubbing every inch of that area, trying to find every piece that I can, because if it was my son, of course, I want to bring him home, everything of him home. So, Buckeye did come out there. We got him out there. They sent one officer out there. Like I said, they first called it animal bones. Of course, everything I send on my website, we take pictures, it goes to them. They get copied. They came back quickly. 10 minutes, say, oh, they all animal bones. I got upset. They ended up had to force them to send it to the Maricopa County examiner's office. It took like 3 hours later. They said it was all human bones. Of course, they made it a crime scene because of that. Maricopa got involved, made it a crime scene. They had to tape it off. They kicked us out of the area. I stayed on the side of the road with them, trying to ask the detectives questions. Hey, look, I need to find out this is my son. Those things are fresh, that type deal. They say they would let me know. Confidently told me it'll be okay. They'll let me know when they left the scene. Before I can make it to Phoenix, I can tell you from Buckeye to Phoenix, it's 40-minute drive. I still had a lot of equipment on my back. When I say equipment on my back, I had the vehicle. I was towing a lot of equipment that I had turned into the rental office. I rent those things before I can get to the rental office in Phoenix. That department called me and said it's not my son. I don't know how they found those answers so fast. It didn't dawn on me until what I did is have my team to make a video, put it out on social media quickly before I left. And when they did that, of course, the reporters hit me up, asked me questions about those remains. I told them, hey, Buckeye Police Department said it wasn't my son. And they quickly went to go talk to Buckeye. I didn't know that. But the next morning, the statement, the headline was the father said the remains was not Daniel. I did not say that. That was what Buckeye told me. Like I said, less than 40 minutes of me leaving that scene told me that. But at the same time, they told the reporters that when the reporters questioned them, that they don't know who it belongs to, and they had to get some DNA testing on it to determine who it is. Now, I later found they saying, they know it's not Daniel because it's not a black man's bone. And, that was offensive to me because I don't know science when it comes to forensics and things like that. But I was offended because I'm saying that if we all humans, how can you just say this is not a black person's bone? Just looking at bones. It didn't have a face on it. It didn't have a name tag. And then, he claiming there was wallets and all kind of stuff. It wasn't nothing like that in that area. We searched that whole area, but that's what They tried to use a justification when I got angry about that. So long story with that, I don't know who those remains belongs to. Once Buckeye get their hands on things like that, every remains we send to them, clothing, suspicious items, we don't get any kind of answers back from them. The only reason why I was able to get answers back from the skull that was found out there that we found is because of family that was looking for that skull. So, and I just happened to be talking to her in the background. So, those things is like you said, the question you have, yes, I don't know who those remains belong to, and I still will like those answers, and I'm still going to push until they decide to give me that. Anyway, here's the next question from Leslie Beeks. Thank you, Leslie, again for coming in. I appreciate your time. So, are there cameras in the area where Daniel's vehicle was found? Does the farmer rancher have any cameras? I was looking for a thing called trail cams. And trail cams are very important out there in the desert. Desert is a flat area, not flat area, but open area. But it has some vegetation in this desert terrain. In Afghanistan, it was a little different. The ones here, yes, a lot of vegetation, some small, some large, some areas. But the area where my son's vehicle was found is the vegetation in there. Most come up to my chest or waistline. So you can look at the picture there. You can see him. You standing up right there. That brush is not high. So again, that also ties into Buckeye saying that they didn't see the vehicle because the terrain was thick. That's not true. But anyway, the whole point is some trail cams out there here. It's hard to locate them. And Game and Fish put a lot of them out there, especially on the BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, because they track the animal, the wildlife out there, especially the mountain lion. They track those animals and things like that. So yes, there's cameras out there. Supposedly, haven't found any. We asked about them. They even have a infrastructure there. Talk to the electric, the companies, the nuclear plant who owns that structure, and I was told that every time I call them, they say they're gonna get back with me. We did try to check by looking at I use binoculars, things like that, to try to see if I can locate any cameras on that structure. I haven't seen one to this date, so it's kind of stunning to me though for that to be an infrastructure and they don't have any security cameras and things like that. Because somebody take that infrastructure out, a lot of people lose their electricity. So anyway, here's the next question. The lost ones, thank you so much for your question. Thank you, first of all, for being here and your support. My name is Dave Robinson. I'm father geologist Daniel Robinson, and I'm here to do a Q&A for everybody who have questions and who have questions and want to know some answers. You guys supported me to this point. This is not just my case for my son. It's also your case. You've been very supportive and want to know a lot of answers. If I can answer those questions, I would. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you that too. If there's anything that's a question that I can't answer because of investigation, I will tell you that also. So thanks for your question, the lost ones. The question is, what was the last time the federal law enforcement officer who was target practicing saw Daniel on June 23rd? Thanks. Well, last time, I guess you asked me the last time I spoke with him. It's been a while. Okay, let me read the question again. What was the last time the federal law enforcement officer saw Daniel on June 23rd? Okay, well, I don't know the time frame. That's the thing, is I don't know the time frame, but the way it was spoken to me from this gentleman, it was before that 1 o'clock hour. I didn't know that first initial crash happened around 1 o'clock, I was told. I'm going over everything. I got this from my investigator. He's paid, by the way, paid investigator. He's no longer work for me, but he left me some of these information, and I'm a very thorough person. I believe his words, and I know he worked really hard, and he's a very good investigator in terms of accident reconstruction and things like that. So I'm really grateful for all his hard work and what he's done. However, I'm still a thorough person. I still ask questions over questions. So I will be, double down on making sure those questions are accurately done. So long story short, yes, I'm still working on the time that this gentleman said he saw my son. I did talk to Buckeye Police Department when they came out to my search, and I acquired that they really did do an interview with this gentleman, and they said yes. Lieutenant Angel told me that, and Biffin told me that this guy, his story was credible, meaning that they checked into it and that he was in that area and things like that. Now, in terms of his criminal history and things like that, they say they don't see that having any bearing on his statement, what he said, what he saw, and all that. And so they take it as accurately, but they didn't put it in their report. So I'm still waiting on to see that in the report. I'm not sure they did or not. I just stopped reading that report once I started seeing a bunch of inconsistencies. It just made me sick to the stomach, and there's no need to read a report that's not true, in my opinion. So I stopped reading Buckeye Police Department, the newest ones, the latest ones. So if it's in there, you guys, that's where you'll see that. But if not there, they should put it in there. So thank you for your question again, the lost ones. Next question from DP. Thank you again for being here. Do all of us have your permission, Mr. Robinson, to share full videos and website for your awareness, such as on another's reputable YouTube creator channel? Now, when you said the full videos, sure. I mean, anything that I've created, as long as it's not edited and things like that, or some words taken away to take away the factual content of anything I said or have done. So yes, that's fine for me. I think DP, I think you were, if I'm not mistaken, I think you asked me the question on text messaging. So if so, yes, thank you so much for reaching out. I wanted to get back with you. Like I said, anytime you guys hit me up on the number here on the bottom, I will scroll that down. You can reach me if you have any, other questions, or you want to ask me questions like this. You can reach me on that number direct. However, I can tell you sometimes it just takes me a while to get back to you on those questions and things like that. So please forgive me on that. I have a lot going on, and that's the only avenue to get to me, and I try to get to everybody as much as possible. But yes, sure, yes, full videos, yes, that's fine with me. Now, I do have some videos that is created by Grizzly True Crimes, for instance. If you guys have any content questions, you need to ask her for permission to use those. I don't have any say so with those, but anything like I'm doing here on a Q&A type videos, that's fine. And also the website awareness, yeah, you can share information that's on the website. By all means, please do so. Bring out awareness more so for everything I'm doing here. So yes, thank you for DP for helping me out on that endeavor. So thanks so much for sharing the content and everything you're doing in that behalf. Also, I have another question from you, and it's that would you like me to enclose the mayor's name and contact information and the Arizona governor's, but also state lab and collected bones? I have those information. Those information I do have, DP, and I really thank you for that. Like I said, I'm reaching out eventually to this mayor and also the governor's office. I definitely have the Attorney General's office in mind. That's the reason why I'm collecting everything I have to give a proper, showing whenever I reach to them. Of course, that like I said, that the petition is very important for you guys to sign. You guys give me more of a backing, along with the forensic work I'm gonna have on this vehicle, to all the new evidence that I collected, things that would give a better timeline to everything that happened to my son. So I thank you so much for that question. Also, thank you, Mr. Q, for joining in. I see you in the chat here. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank God that you're here. I really appreciate you for coming on. Yes, I will be talking with you later this evening, and I really thank you for all the hard work that you do in the background. A lot of people don't know everything you do, so I really thank you all and everybody who's in your group for helping in the background to do more, bring awareness to helping with the petition. I'm sorry, the donations and things like that, building the donation up and things like that. I really appreciate it. You guys have been real true champions on that, trying to help me build up that GoFundMe to get the funding to get this forensic work done, and also to keep me here, and also to continue the searches. So everything works together. I really appreciate that. Also, you guys, if you're here in Arizona I want to remind you that if you're going down I-10, it was really nice to see Lamar. It's a company, and I want to thank them again for their deal of helping me get those billboards up all over here in Phoenix area towards Buckeye, on the east side of Phoenix to the west side of Phoenix, up to Buckeye. So you guys on I-10, I think it's one on I-17 too, but you go and you see these billboards with Daniel information on that. That's come from your hard work. That's from your help. You know what I'm saying? You guys, your donation and things like that. So thank you so much for doing that. For doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to utilize your funding correctly, and also to bring awareness for my son, and also fight for his honor, his justice, and the final. So thank you so much for everything you're doing. If you have a question, please, by all means, put the word question there first, put a Q or something. I can see it down the comment section, so that helped me not miss your question. If I miss your question, please ask it again. It's okay to ask again. Put the Q there, like I said, or the question. And as I go down, I see it, I answer it. I really appreciate that. Like I said, it helped me recognize um, um, the question. So I have another question here from Julia. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here through the YouTube. The question is, what is the status on having the mines and wells checked? I'm still working on that. Those mines are dangerous. That's something that it's been very hard to get someone who's an expert into those. I do have people. There's a nonprofit organization that I guess found one of the young ladies. I don't get to watch the news much, but I've been hearing about a lady was found, maybe possibly her remains was found in a mine, and I think they call themselves the Diesel Brothers or something out other. And so I do have people in the background that's helping me get the information and reaching out to them. They may possibly come out to help search these mines near where my son went missing. There's a lot of them out here in Arizona, thousands of them, and in the area alone, there's some vertical mines. People go on the website where the mines are marked. There's a lot of prospect mines out there that unmarked, meaning that people just building mines back in the day or whenever, and they have yet to document those. So those are things out there that need to be checked, and the one special one that's in close proximity to where my son went missing. So working on those, and still trying to find the right people to go down to help me search those mines. Like I said, you have to know what you're doing. It's not just an easy task. It's not something you just go down into. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. It's dangerous and you can lose your life. So thank you for your question, Julia. Thank you for being here. And I have another question also from Rachel. Thank you for coming in from YouTube also with your question, Rachel. Thank you again for being here. Do you feel that law enforcement in Buckeye lacks sensitivity or concern in general, or does it almost feel like a targeted reason for the mishandling of your son's case? I can't speak for the mind of that department. I can give my opinions. My opinions are they're either lazy, or like you said, they're unwilling, or that's my opinions. They have lack of training. So lack of training, lack of skills, all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. And the reason why I feel that way is because what they're doing. I don't see any actions. I don't see any real concern. They can speak. It's different when you can say something with your mouth or write something on a paper, but your actions are a whole lot is different. My mom used to tell me that, your actions speak louder than your words, and I do not see the actions. Because if they really was concerned about my son, even employees, let's say the officers that work there, I don't see them at my searches. I've been doing these searches for over 20 some weeks, and they don't come out to searches. They only been out to 2 searches, and those were searches I asked them to come. They came empty-handed on the first one. That second one they came out to, when I say empty-handed, I asked them for specific things. They didn't bring those. They just showed their presence, but they didn't come with prepared for nothing. The second time they came with some things in hand, but they didn't come do it properly. Saying I still have questions about those. We're working on it, but like I said, those are on 2 times. They never took initiative to come out to help the volunteers and myself out there in that desert. So the actions shows a lot. The actions, hey, if you really care about what happened to my son, if you're an officer of the peace and you really care about people and your job is to serve people and that's what you're passionate about, I would not see why you have a person that comes from South Carolina out in your jurisdiction out here with volunteers every week out there in the desert and you don't take a day off from work. When you get off from work and you come out there and the searches and walk that ground with us and help search for Daniel. You know, even that. I don't see Chief Hall out there on his day off coming out there or the mayor or whoever coming out there to help search for my son. In my opinion, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, I can go by what I feel, but I can't speak for their mind and what they think in their head or what the reasons is and things like that. But I can give my opinions, and those are mine. So thank you, Rachel, for that question. And yeah, my opinion about that department is not very good when it comes in terms of helping me with my son's case. So now, thank you so much. If you have the word, if you have a question, please type in the word question first, or put a Q like Rachel did here, and then go with your question. It helped me find your question as I'm going down the comment section. Thank you again, DP, for another question. Will the petition be enough to turn over to mayor, governor, and state official oversight offices? Text me if you want me to send information again on anything. I will, DP. Thank you so much for everything you do. Also, contacting me in the background. I really appreciate that. Yes, the petition will help with all of that stuff. I'm really working on that to properly do it right, to package everything correctly. That's the reason why I have an attorney. That's why I'm meeting with two other attorneys later today to get some things discussed towards how I can better utilize the information I already have to, like you said, the petition, and also how I can get this forensics work done. I need the funds. I really need the funds. I know you guys can look at the petition. I mean, the GoFundMe, and you can see a number there. You have to factor in that I've been here since June 26th, and the numbers you see there is not the numbers that is. You know what I'm saying? Those funds has been used since I've been here. Of course, I had to utilize that by equipment to perform these searches, to producing these banners and flyers, and going out check out leads. I mean, just do a lot. It's a whole lot of moving parts to go look for a loved one. I just don't collect. Ask you guys to donate, and it just sit in the bank and things like that. It's been used. The money's been used, and is continuing to be used to further search for my son. And I try to use it wisely. That's some of the reason why you guys hear me say, "Hey, look, I need you guys. I'm trying to get these specialized drones or some things I really need for the searches. I really need them bad, but to get those will kind of damage the funds that I need to, for instance, get other equipment, or to remain here in Arizona to do the flyers or whatever the case may be. Kind of have to balance everything out. So try to use the money properly and try to use it wisely. So things can last long. I don't know how long my son's going to be missing, so I have to work things that way. So that's why I continue ask you to continually donate if you can, because it means something. Your money is being used to help me find my son and help me to be here on the front line fighting. So I thank you for being here. But I think that, it would be enough. The petition is enough for you guys. Again, if you want to sign that petition, please go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com and sign that petition. And you can do it multiple times. All you have to do is, if you have multiple email accounts, you can do it multiple times. That is very important. If you can do that, we're up to 100-some thousand signatures, and I thank you for that. Also, I'll just put on the bottom here, I don't want to forget, it's the anonymous tip line. You see it right here behind me on this banner. You can call that tip line if you have any tips, or anybody who have a tip. They can remain anonymous. You call that number. It's a 24 hours, 7 days a week. Our live operators that will take your call. And like I said, you can remain anonymous. Or if you don't want to talk to anybody, you can just text the word tip to that number, and you can still remain anonymous or non-anonymous, and you can fill out that form. And then also, I can tell you when you call or text, you can, especially if you text that tip to that number, you can leave comments to me directly. You stay anonymous. I won't know who you are if you want to stay anonymous, but you can send your tip there. If you want to talk to me directly, like I said, it's possible you might catch me at the right time to answer this phone number here. that I'm gonna put on the bottom. May be able to answer. Most times I don't because I'm really busy. I have another phone that I use, and but if you leave a text message, I try to get to it as fast as I can. And I really appreciate it if you do have a tip and you want to leave it there. You can do it that way. Also, I know for some other reasons I say this kind of facetiously, but there's other people that use that number to contact me with bad things they like to say, and but they do it through a burner phone. So if you want to give me good comments or give me a good tip, through a burner phone, that's welcome too. So that type of deal. So anyway, thank you for your support, and I thank you all for coming out here to support me. Thank you so much for being here in this chat, and also being this Q&A. So I'll go back to these questions. If you have questions, please put the Q there, and then along with your question, that way it help me go down and see your question. So I think I have another one here from DP. What areas, who and why are they refusing entry to search? How close to the Mexican border is the area? Okay, well, I do hear some of the volunteers complain about running to some of the guys who own those lands out in the desert, running them off or something, tell them, especially down the Pioneer plant. I think that's the name of it, Pioneer plant. Those guys do not like us down in that area for that reason. I know they don't want us near their plant, but they don't own that Hacienda River. So we usually go down that river, especially this time of year, but now it's getting to a point where the river might start running, and we have to be careful because I think we're going to start getting to rain here in Arizona in a few weeks or something, possibly. And, that's when things start getting dangerous when we down in those areas. So have a little more experience with that now this year. There's a lot more experience for myself. So I know that when we have rain, we stay out the rivers, out the riverbeds, because they call them rivers, but they never have water in them. I haven't seen water in those rivers for months now, but they will come, and they come in flash floods. So, I guess those guys probably don't want us down in those areas because it's close to their area for liability reasons. I'm not sure. So, but as in some of the landowners, I haven't ran into anybody who ran me off or anything like that. So hopefully to stay that way. We are trying to reach out to some of these owners and, of course, get permission from them for some of their land. So as in the Mexican border, I think that's, I don't know the distance, but it's not close, not too close. I think at least an hour drive at least to the Mexican border. You have to go past the airport and things like that. So it's not in the immediate area. So, but it's close enough. Close enough. I know it is a corridor. The area is a corridor for all kinds of things that happen out there in that desert. So you can imagine we find human remains out there. So it's coming from somewhere. So the thing is, I don't know anything about that border so much. So thank you for your question, DP. I really appreciate that. Again, my name is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. For those who just joining in, I'm out here doing a Q&A for everyone who had interest in my son's case. Taking time out in my day to do this because a lot of you have shown interest in my son's case. The case went national, and a lot of people have questions. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I will let you guys ask me. If I don't have the answer to those questions, I will tell you. If there's anything that go towards the investigation, then I won't tell you. I'll tell you that I can't do it. I'll let you know. And but I answer them to the best of my ability. Now, I'm grateful for you guys showing up and helping me in this Q&A because, like I said, if you don't show up, I won't have anything going towards getting this awareness out for my son. I want you to hit that share, like, and subscribe, to this channel because that helped the algorithm help this channel grow. So I can reach out to more people. And that's the goal. That's the reason why I started this. For one thing is to, like I say, answer your questions, but also to be able to use this platform to bring more awareness. So I found, like I said, avenue just doing it early in the morning. So I thank you guys for even coming out this early, especially people here in the West Coast. 6:30 is early in the morning, but it'll be 8:30 out in the East. So, back at home. And I tried to get it early as possible because, as you know, that's why you see me look over my shoulder a lot. I utilize my day. A lot of times I don't get to sleep. Getting, I know people get on me all the time, and I can hear their voices right now. Me saying this in the background about me getting my sleep. You probably can tell. Sometimes I'm on here talking. Usually work off an hour or so sleep. So it's a lot of work, a lot of efforts. But my son is worth it to me. He's worth it. I'm fighting hard for him, and so without you guys, I would not be making it. I've been here since June 26th searching for my son. Since then, I started my own searches. Since then, I've been doing a lot of appearances on shows from Dr. Oz to the Red Table Talk to wherever. Been able to get those awareness out there for my son. Started a city search for my son. I got billboards put up, just whatever, doing everything I can. But I'm saying I can't do it without you guys and without your backing. So you all been here to help me accomplish those goals. So I'm really grateful for you. And I never forget your labor of love. I tend to think of you as my extended family. And I don't have no shame to tell you, I love you for everything you do. And I really thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. You've been here through thick and thin. A lot of people, a lot of families do not get this opportunity. So I don't take this opportunity for granted. Mind you, because of that, I was able to, since being doing this, searching for my son, I found other families. I understand the nature of this thing is a lot bigger than me and my family. And I'm trying to do everything I can possibly to use myself to help other people. So I really thank you guys for that. I have another question here for Penny. Excuse me. I have a question here for Penny. Has Western State Aerial Search Incorporated been in touch with you? They are a nonprofit that use drones to help find the missing. I'm not familiar with that name. I run into so many. Penny, thank you first of all for being here from Facebook. I have talked to many nonprofits and organizations that help find missing people. I have yet to find one that actually worked with me yet, so I'm still working on it. I know you guys was really strong on Aquafats, for instance. Aqua Search. Really hard on that. I did talk to them, and to their credit, they explained to me that my son's case was not fitting their profile where they do things. It wasn't a fit for what they do, but they did give me a referral. So that referral sounds similar to what you were asking. I can't remember the exact name. I had to go back, but I did talk to a nonprofit organization that does a lot of aerial things like that, which you're speaking of. They have utilized these specialized drones that I wish I had for my searches. In fact, they have technology also programmed that can look at ground disturbances from the air, and they can pinpoint these areas. And that's very crucial to what I'm doing at desert. That desert is huge. We did over 19,000 acres, the volunteers and myself. Imagine that, 19,000 acres of land we covered and on foot. And that's after this vehicle was found. Now, before that, we were doing some searches. I was doing searches weekly before that, the vehicle's found. So that's not including those acres that we did before the 19,000. So as the point when my new logistic search coordinator came in, he did those counts from the time the vehicle was found. So, and that's when he came up with 19,000. What I'm saying is these guys had that technology that I wanted really bad. I was able to talk with this nonprofit organization. They just asked me one thing. When I sent that letter to Chief Hall to ask his officer to come out, I included this nonprofit, and they asked me one thing, to have Buckeye to invite them, and that was part of that letter. The stipulations, I asked Chief Hall to come out there with certain equipment because I need to search those wells, and I need to search the mines, and they need to come out with those specialized equipment. But at the same time, in that letter, I asked them to reach out to these gentlemen from that nonprofit and request them to come because, and I explained it, they have specialized equipment with those drones that will help me in my search. Now, I don't know if they actually called these folks now, but I do know these folks said it was going to come out. So I'm assuming they did. And when they said it was coming out, I was looking for them to show up that morning of that search. Well, I think it was that night of the search, or the morning, one after the other. I did get a call from this nonprofit organization. The gentleman that was running it, he said they weren't going to make it because the other guys that's supposed to come along with him did not show up, and he couldn't do it alone. So I have, to this day, haven't heard anything else back from them. He's going to get back in contact with me. I have plans to get back in contact with them, but I have yet to do so. But yes, I try to work with nonprofit organizations. But if I can't get in contact with them, or if things fail, I just keep going. I'm a person like this. If if a person want to help, I really need all the help I can get. But if they can't get there, I'm not stopping. Continue to do what I'm doing as a father, doing the best I can. And like I said, I always welcome that, and I also seek outside help. Thanks so much for the question, DP. So Hughes is refusing searchers on the land that night. Uh, oh, okay. I think you're talking about Hal Hughes. Hal Hughes is the company that he's developing all that land out there. It's a multi-million-dollar deal, from what I understand, and they are out there developing. That's the whole goal, and some kind of smart city or something he want to put out there, and so some type of smart city, but I don't know. I don't know about them. They haven't reached out to me. I haven't gotten anything from the Howard Hughes folks telling me to get off the land and things like that. I do know from the well sites. I was told to stop leave their wells alone. Long story short, for a while, but then I worked out a deal. Was able to get through one of the gentlemen's a deal where the only thing we had to provide insurance or whatever. Say we have insurance, and we can go ahead and do that. So, so we have little downfalls or whatever, but we'll work through them and stuff like that to keep it going. Also, thank you guys for your comments. I'm gonna put some of these comments up here. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for your love and dedication to your son. Thank you for caring enough for our sons, to want to make a change. Praying for you and your family, and most importantly, praying for Daniel. Yes, that's the whole cue. Thank you, Rachel, for that comment. That's the whole point. So I have to, saying it's not just about my family. So yes, it's about everybody else's family. Again, one of the volunteers said to me that Daniel is not just your son; he's America's son, which is true. And the way you explain that is that my son, he represents so many other families, who have missing loved ones and don't have a clue. Rely on a department that's sworn to serve and protect you, and do everything they can. And then you see in this case how things have moved slow to stop. In my opinion, and a lot of families go through that, and it's sad. So yeah, I have to advocate. I have to do whatever I can to make sure that no one else, other family, go through that. I may not solve the problem, but I'm going to put a big dent in it if I can, and I may be able to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? Get them to change these laws and things like that. But at least I'm going to make a bit noise. I'm put a dent there, and I need you guys to be a support. So that's what I'm saying. A couple things. I'm glad you brought that up. While I'm waiting on some more questions, you all need to know that I have this. First of all, I want to highlight the fact that I have the candlelight visual that's coming up. So y'all be mindful of that. It's on the 12th, and your guys, please show up, because the number of people that show up is making a statement, and that statement will be towards my son's case, him being missing, but also to all the other missing people out there, families and stuff like that. So we're supporting this whole missing persons cases out there, and my son's case. So please come out and support those numbers. And what I need you guys to do is to go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and please, you go there, just please click on that events tab and go down and RSVP, because I need to know the numbers of people who are actually going to show, so I can get these candles and things like that. So that'll help out a lot. So if you're planning to come, please go to the website and sign up. So I really need you to do that. The other thing is, to go back to what you were saying on the question, is that if you guys want to kind of help any other kind of way, you can't come out here to volunteer, to be on the ground and say, hey, how the way I can help? You can't donate or whatever, or whatever the case may be. You want to find other ways to help. Please go to the website also, and go to the tab at the top that'll tell you to ask you to tell you how you can help in other ways other than coming out to search, and how you can volunteer in other ways. And what we're doing is trying to get all these skill sets of people who may be in different states, different countries, know your skill sets, because as you know, I'm trying to build a foundation for my son, the Daniel Robinson Foundation, and I need some certain skill sets, some areas to help me out in that endeavor, and also other endeavors that I'm working on that you guys will find out pretty soon. Have a team behind that. We're working on a lot of things. Like I said, I have a meeting with attorneys today for some other areas. So thank you so much for that. If you go on those, and that'll help out tremendously. Again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson, here with this Q&A to give everybody the opportunity to answer questions that they may have, and also to give you awareness of what's going on. This Q&A is for you all, like I say, for your questions and things like that. So thank you for them. If you got them, please give them to me. I do have running out of time. It's 8 o'clock now here in Arizona, and I have some things I'll take care of, but I'm gonna try to go ahead and go down the timeline and get it. If you have any more questions that I didn't get to answer, we'll be back here hopefully tomorrow morning, and please bring those questions back with you. So thank you so much. I will leave some more information with you shortly. This from T. Sophia. Thank you, T. Sophia. A lot of people don't know, but you're doing a whole lot of work in the background. I really appreciate your support and helping the cause for Daniel, and I really appreciate that. The question is, have you pinpointed any areas outside of the desert where Daniel car was crashed that concerns you? If so, have those areas also been searched? Yes, I have a lot of areas based on my personal investigation outside of where this vehicle right here was found, of course. And we have searched some of those areas already. I have line searches there. We came up with some findings, and I have come up with some things that helped me with my drone. So things like that. So yeah, I'm still working on some areas that need to be searched. Those are part of the investigation stuff. So you guys would kind of figure that out as it go. Of course, I won't tip my hand to what area I'm going to search next and things like that. But there's some areas that need to be searched, and I'm working on those. And so I need your help. I need you guys, when you see those specialized searches, I changed those names to those searches for a reason. They are all specialized searches, meaning that they're all based on investigation. Things that we out here, last thing we know is my son's seen in the desert. That's why we're still out there. And also I have investigations that my investigation shows that the other areas need to be searched for different reasons. And so that's what I'm searching those, and those in terms are needed be searched by line searches, because they are detailed searches. So line searches are very important. All searches are very important. But thank you so much for your question, T. Sophia. Okay, I have for you guys to know that I have a candlelit visual that's coming up next month on the 12th. And then you please, thank you, Gwen. Please, go on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and you can get the information on that on the events tab. And I ask you to sign up, please, and that way I can know who's all here that's coming out to the visual, and I can provide those things for you. Also, I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting any other things. There's a lot going on. Like I said, if you can go on the other ways to help, you can find that tab also, and you can put your skill sets up there. That will help. I do have another question. I think this may be the last one from DP. Mr. Robinson, could you please get Gisela's permission for me? Also, since she's never respond, as she's very busy, please. Yeah, I can try to talk with her, but yeah, ultimately it'll be her decision. But I can talk to her. We can discuss that um, on the phone number that you normally contact me with. Yes, I will reach out to her and see if that's possible. But also, yeah, I'll get the information about your YouTube channel and things like that. So thank you so much for that. Also, like again, I say my name is Dave Robinson. I have this Q&A for everyone who's coming out in support of my son's case. It's been a long time. It's been since June the 23rd. My son was missing. It's been since June the 26th since I've been here in search of him, and I couldn't be here without you guys supporting me the way you are. It's, like I said, I'm here still on the ground fighting. Since then, I started 2 searches. The city, well, 3 searches. I have now the searches involving UTV. UTVs out there in the desert, specialized searches that is pinpointed on investigational areas using more so line searches. And also I have the city distribution where I'm able to get these flyers and awareness out everywhere. I have billboards all over here in Phoenix now, going out on I-10. Have banners like this on the cars. This everything. Just bringing awareness to my son's case, and we're gonna find him. We're gonna find my son, and also have the campaign that's out now to raise funding so I can get this forensics work done on this vehicle. You see those markers not on that sign out there? That's from the Buckeye Police Department picture. They did not do any forensic work on my son's vehicle at the scene. They say they did a fingerprinting that I requested a few days after they took the vehicle from the scene. I have yet to get answers to that. They won't give me that. So I'm going to get some of that stuff from Freedom of Information later, work on that with my attorney. And so waiting on her to get back with me on that. But, get those informations, and also, like I said, I'm continuing my own investigation myself. So everything you guys are doing is helping, and we're getting answers. It's sad to say that, it's taking this long to find answers for what happened to my son. But, in most cases out there, even with law enforcement, sometimes it takes time. And, a lot of families don't ever get answers. But I'm being proactive. I'm working really hard, trying to get those answers for my son. I'm a father I'm not saying nobody loves their children, but I love my son. I love all of them. I love my son. He's mine. Saying it's my responsibility. He's my responsibility. I'm going to defend his honor, his name, and I'm going to seek justice. He's going to have his justice. And those who are involved will have to be brought to justice. So those things, are really grateful for you guys are sticking by me with that. So thank you so much. God bless you. I think I'm coming down to the end again. My name is David Robinson. I'm Father Geologist Daniel Robinson, and I'm here to do a Q&A. If you guys have a tip, please hit the number tip line. There's a number up there on the banner. It's on the bottom of the screen. You can stay anonymous. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Live operators answer your calls. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you can just text the word tip to that number, and the form will come up for you. And you can leave your tip that way. You also can call this number or text this number with your tip if you want to stay anonymous. I can't promise you be anonymous by calling that number unless you're using some type of burner phone and you don't use a name, but your number will come up and on my phone. And if you want to leave a tip with that and you don't care, you can do that. Or if you just want to call or text me and say, hey, Mr. Rob, I'm thinking about you. I love those too. Those help me out because they help me morally, keep me going. So I really appreciate that. If you need any other information about anything, please go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. You can find the ways to help, whether that's sign the petition, whether you can donate, whether you find the events tab to find out what I'm doing, like I say, the searches, join in on the searches, and also other ways to volunteer, and that's to fill out the form and show your skill sets, because there's some things coming up with the Daniel Robinson Foundation to other things I'm doing here that can help if I know what you're skilled at, how it can help me. If you're a nonprofit organization, you can also fill out that form. So that'll help me in all kind of ways. So thank you so much, you all, for coming out and supporting me. Again, like I said, we have the candlelight visuals that's coming up on the 12th of this month. I'm saying this month. And man, this year's going by already. It's March already. Amazing. But on the 12th, and I hope to have you guys out there, because the most people I can get out there, the more people I get, the more support. We're trying to get numbers. The numbers is important, and I'm telling you guys, if you give me a great showing, that's a statement. That's what I'm trying to do. Make sure I get a statement, and I really thank you. So thank you all for showing up. I'll see you tomorrow, Lord's willing. If I don't come on tomorrow, I will let you know. Just follow my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I will do better on the TikTok, things like that. But you can also come here and on YouTube, and you'll see the next Q&A. And if you have questions that wasn't answered today, please, by means, save your questions and bring them tomorrow. Make sure you put the word question there first, and then come with your question. They help me find your questions once you come down the comment section. Also, hit the like, share, and subscribe button on this YouTube channel, because they help the algorithm and help me get my word out faster and farther. And if you know anybody else, please have them to also do the same. Like I said, I need the numbers. I get up to 1,000 people to sign up for this YouTube channel. That'll help me get other perks and get me out a lot farther. So thanks so much for coming out. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and God bless you.